Welcome to WTFodcast, our general discussion weekly podcast. My name is Steve of WTFAnimeINC. With me, as always, is Ladyducky, KriticalSkeptic, and EmberSoul. And welcome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get us started here because I've got something I need to sit here and kind of get off my chest. I went down to go do my grocery shopping this morning. And for once, I actually had to go into the store to do some shopping. And I go into the store, and I'm doing my shopping. And I'm like, man, you know what? I've noticed over the last couple of years, grocery stores have gotten steadily more and more quiet in the mornings. And especially at like the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hour when I usually go. I try to go earlier. I'm really bad about going earlier because, well, I like my sleep. But as I'm in the grocery store, I suddenly realize that the reason why it's quieter is less people are bringing their kids in. And I remember when I was younger, our mom would sit there and let us watch some cartoons and stuff like that in the morning. And then she'd go, okay, well, now it's time to go grocery shopping. Let's all get in the car. Let's all go down to the grocery store and start getting groceries. Well, I see that happening less and less. But the thing is when I do see people take their kids with them to the grocery store, like, I remember when I was younger, we would basically have to entertain ourselves. So some of the ways we used to entertain ourselves is mom would sit there and go pick out the cereal you want. And of course, now you're a kid and you're faced in the cereal aisle and you're having to look up and you go, do I want Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Do I want Kix? Do I want Puffs? What do I want?
That takes all your energy.
Yeah. Now I see this as like, I was going down one of the aisles and I see a mom and she's doing her shopping and she's got her kid in the cart. And instead of the kids sitting there and like looking around and like picking foods for themselves, or even being a rapscallion like me and reading the back of the box of the food, going, what does all this mean?
Wow, what a troublemaker! You're such a rebel.
I wanted to know what it all meant. The numbers fascinated me. I was like, what does this mean? What is calories?
You must have been like young Sheldon when you were a kid in a grocery store.
It was more like, what do they mean? Because, like, I mean, obviously calories matter to me now, Mr. Double Chin now. But the thing is like, I noticed this woman, she's there with her kid. Kid probably is about, like, prime age to be, like, looking around the grocery store and, like, picking stuff out for themselves. Like, the 8-9 years old, like, definitely, that snack age.
Diet.
That snack age, basically. But on the instead, this kid is buried into their phone. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, where's the magic of the grocery shopping experience for kids now? Where's that whole, okay, well, you can go pick out your breakfast food and your snacks, or, go pick out your Lunchables that you want for, for your lunch for the next couple of days and whatnot. That seems to just be gone now. Now that, this kid was like so thoroughly invested in their phone, and it's not like they were in an uninteresting aisle. We're down the breakfast food aisles at this point, because I'm buying myself my brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts.
No, but a little digital hit of dopamine is far more interesting than interacting with the real world when you're that age. And the kids in front of cell phones is a systemic fucking problem.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, you're in the aisle where, like, I'm 45 years old. I'm getting myself my brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts. Why is the kid not looking over there at the juicy looking Pop-Tarts going, I need some Pop-Tarts? And then the mom has to go, oh, no, you can't get the Pop-Tarts because, childhood obesity or whatever the hell, but, like, come on. It's, I don't know, the magic of grocery shopping for kids must be lost. They must not have that now. Like, where is that day and age? I mean, is this just a me thing? Is this just because I finally hit that middle age era where I'm like, these damn kids these days and yada yada? Like, where is the magic now?
It's technology, phones, iPads, it's
Social media.
The parents' mind would be, maybe their parents is thinking, well, if they're busy on their phone, they won't be running around the store, stuff like that. But
I mean,
I wish I could.
When you were a kid, what was it like when you went to the grocery store?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I was running around looking at the cereal boxes and they can't, just looking at everything. And, my mom would be like, you need to stay near me and stuff. I was like,
my favorite was the magazine aisle.
The magazine
aisle? What are you looking at?
Really?
Yeah.
What are you looking at over there?
Anything I wanted to.
Yeah. I bet
Science,
I could sit there and get lost in Mad Magazine for an hour.
Mad Magazine, comics, anything, yeah. Sometimes they had the Publix was even so bold to have color materials and stuff and basic, yeah.
Well,
the office
instant
supply aisle, I don't know.
gratification.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Their cell phones and iPads and stuff.
You're
not getting dopamine around your environment anymore. I don't know. I get upset about that because it's like they're not experiencing life anymore. We got to experience that when we were younger, but now it's just they're on their phones, they're playing, they're hooked into something.
They've got no desire to leave the house, go out and see their friends, go out and start trouble, ride a bike, go fishing, set off fireworks in the woods, hiding from their parents. They don't interact with one another and learn by doing crazy kid shit anymore. This is way better than going out and doing any of that. That's why I say it's a systemic problem. Because it's giving them a latency in developing social skills. Or a total lack of interest in developing social skills.
And I think one of the other problems is that I think, okay, this is probably going to be a hot take, but I think also another problem is that food is no longer engaging. Call me crazy, but I was going down and I was also looking at the cereals and whatnot, and I notice, where are the toys? Where are the box top redeems that you could do? Where did all this stuff go? Because, yes, it was a marketing thing, and yeah, it was I guess that it was probably problematic, but also, I will say when I was a kid, yeah, I kind of sat there and sometimes based my taste in cereal on what the toy was on the back of it, what the box had on the back of it for me to do at the table. If anything had a maze on it, I was hooked. I wanted to play the mazes on the back of these things. I mean, I still next to my toilet, I have both word searches and mazes for me to play. I get the Dollar Tree word search books and the maze books, but it's still I love doing that stuff. I don't think food is engaging anymore. Does anybody do you guys remember when I think it was Heinz? Call me crazy. I think it was Heinz, but Heinz released a purple ketchup.
Purple ketchup. Yes.
Wasn't it green too?
Yeah, they also had a green one.
Ketchup?
Yeah.
Hideous looking.
That's fun.
What
totally
happened to this shit? This was
hideous.
Great stuff. It was engaging.
Or Crystal Pepsi. Oh, that was a failure.
Hey.
What was Crystal Pepsi?
They made clear Pepsi look like Sprite, tasted just like
boring.
Pepsi. They just stripped the color from it.
I loved Crystal Pepsi. When they brought it back out a few years ago, I was buying it by the case. I loved Crystal
cool.
Pepsi.
Apparently it failed bad for them, but I thought it was cool.
It was terrible.
I don't remember that.
So, it was absolutely god-awful, but it was great shit. Trust me.
But before I forget, on your cereal box toy note, I was just thinking about how fond of a memory it is, as ridiculous it was, but how many freaking boxes of Frosted Flakes I ate and begged for my parents to buy when we were at the grocery store, because for a while there, you could redeem a certain amount of the QR codes on the box. You could mail them in and redeem a certain amount for a Darkwing Duck Detective's magnifying glass. And it's this giant, oversized magnifying glass, purple handle, Darkwing Duck, picture and lettering on the handle.
Well,
it's probably still sitting around somewhere in a box in somebody's attic.
the thing is though is like the box top thing was like real because like it engaged you to like do something and like, you know, I mean you probably bragged to your friends for forever the fact that you got that thing.
Oh yeah, I showed that thing off like crazy.
Yeah, because I mean the box tops gave you that incentive to sit there and like be like, hey, I've built this up, I've collected this, so now I can sit there and I can redeem it, and you know, and of course it wasn't just buying the boxes, cutting off the box tops, and then mailing them in. You also had to pay for the shipping generally of the item that was coming to you. So it was just like those. Did anybody read Nintendo Power?
A little bit back in the day.
Okay. Do you remember the 800 number that you could call to get tips? And how it was always like...
Yeah,
I never called.
Support line, yeah.
Yeah. So you could call that number and you could sit there and you could be like, I want to sit there and I want to I want to call in and I want to get tips on this and whatnot. But, you have to have your parents' permission. So... But like,
they'd hang
whoever
out on the
really
phone with you
gets
for an hour and give you a complete walkthrough if you really wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, it
never
was like
called
playing
it.
the
That
game
sounds
of
so
Game
cool.
Pro over the phone.
Yeah, I'm stuck
Before
on
the
World
internet was the
3
internet.
Super Mario Brothers. I don't know how to get past. Yeah, they will guide you through it.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I never.
And there's
my
this
gosh, I didn't
secret
know they
over
had that.
here.
I'm so happy, and I'm sad because I missed that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a legitimate thing in Nintendo Power magazine that you could sit there and you could call the number and they would genuinely help you. Now, the reason why they said you have to have a parent's permission is because that would go on the phone bill. They would charge you for that. So, and suddenly your parent gets a bill and they're like, "What's this extra $20 on here for?" You know, like.
I didn't know. Well, that's probably why I didn't call. I didn't know you could. What?
Honey, there's pay-per-view subscriptions here. It's like that. Instead.
Well, even if I knew that, my parents would probably be like, no, you're not doing that if they're going to charge us this. No.
Yeah.
I'd probably.
I mean, they
definitely
charged you for it, and I think it was like 93 cents a minute or something like that too. So like it was
expensive.
Yeah,
at that
no, it was
time.
definitely expensive.
That was a
Like,
lot.
I mean, totally expensive.
How do I get past this? Well, first you do hurry up, do it faster. How do you do it fast? You know, I'd be like.
So
These minutes don't cost. Yeah, back then there were minutes and. For yourself? No, I don't think there were
I
cell
could
phones
share
back
you a
then.
video of someone working in the Nintendo Power office taking a call.
go
Sound
for
like
it. Yeah,
quick
bring it
1
up.
minute
Bring
video.
Send it.
Let's.
We need
Alright,
some
let me
media,
try it.
man.
Yeah,
Remember
let's
how to
some
do
media.
this.
Yeah, let's look at
I'm like
this.
one of those iPad kids. I need to see something so I can stay entertained.
So I'd have to click here. I'll wait.
But yeah, I mean, it was a legitimate thing that happened back then. But it's
There you go. Oh, nothing.
it's that importance of like kids being engaged and whatnot.
All right, I think we're rolling.
Yes. I was want to inquire about The Legend of Zelda. I was wondering how you go about getting...
Sorry, let me restart that with sound working.
Turn it down just a
Hi,
little bit.
Nintendo. This is Craig. How can I help
Actually,
you?
you're fine.
Yes. I was want to inquire about The Legend of Zelda. I was wondering how you go about getting the white sword.
Okay. Before I answer that question, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It's possible that we might be on ABC News, okay? You and I having this conversation.
Right.
Do you object to that?
No problem.
Terrific. Okay, so you're looking for the white sword in Zelda?
Well, I know where it is, but I can't get my hands on it.
Which quest are you in?
The first quest.
Okay, well, you know where it is.
Yeah, right.
All right. What you need to have are 12 heart containers.
Right.
And that's the only thing.
Okay, I've got 12.
Well, then you should be able to get it. You just walk up and you present yourself to the gentleman, and he'll give you the sword.
Okay, I might have miscounted on my my hearts. And also, there's a couple of the graves that don't have a genie. And is there any way you can get in there?
I just want to point this out. Notice how they're legitimately playing the games. Like, these weren't just experts in like knowing how the games worked. These were people who like genuinely played the games as well and everything like that. Like, that's amazing.
That has to be the coolest job.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
playing games and just answering people's questions about the game. Like, I don't know why this is bringing a really big smile to my face.
Did that
love
pull
that.
it down?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
okay, cool.
gone. Good job.
It's a little. I think I was having just some weird audio feedback. I don't know if you were getting duplicate.
It's okay.
I thought it sounded good.
It comes
Okay,
to
good.
me in a separate file in post, just so you guys know. So
Yeah, I turned down my gain a little. I was muting while I was running the video. That seemed to help.
yeah, but these were people that legitimately played these games and everything like that, you know. And I don't know. I know back on the first episode, I raised up the point of Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Right.
And I also lamented the downfall of third spaces. We don't have third spaces anymore. They just don't exist. We don't have places to go to socialize and socialize without the context of having to spend massive amounts of money. So third spaces are places like libraries, clubs and hangout entertainment centers where you're not expected to spend massive amounts of money. Arcades, true arcades, not this Dave and Buster's bullshit. Like true arcades and whatnot. These were third spaces that existed. And I know Chuck E. Cheese doesn't really count as a third space, but to me that's like a third space for kids. When was the last time driving down the street you even saw a Chuck E. Cheese? Because I haven't seen one in forever.
They're more rare.
I think there's one in no, there is a Chuck E. Cheese here somewhere. It's mixed with all these pavilions of shopping places. There is a Chuck E. Cheese.
But it's not a standalone building though anymore, is it? Is it kind of like
no, it's like
it's in like a strip mall?
Yeah, it's not its own big building. It's like
like
there's different stores and then there's Chuck E. Cheese and
they used to be these massive buildings out there on their own and stuff like that. You could totally go into the Chuck E. Cheese and like, you know, or in my case, like I was a person who preferred Showbiz Pizza, but then Showbiz and Chuck E. merged. But the big thing is like you could go and hang out in these places. I think you raised up last time Discovery Zone.
I was just thinking about that. A lot of other very budget-friendly entertainment centers scattered all over the place, competing with one another for your time and money. Discovery Zone was one. There were, 5 off-brand laser tag places within 2.5 hours of where I grew up. You know, there's nothing close to where I grew up, but if you went out in the circle a little further, there was lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Do any one of you guys remember there was a series of places and they were called Adventure Landing, and they were like half water park, half arcade, half laser tag place, and like eventually they added like mini golf and whatnot. And it was a chain for a while, and like even that was like really engaging, especially in like the heat of Florida when you just like you could just go to the water park and just splash yourself off and cool off and whatnot. You know, I remember these places and I remember them fondly. So, but we don't have that anymore.
No, they've sort of the bigger places like Dave and Buster's and the handful of remnants are now large franchised conglomerates that are all copies of clones of themselves. And yeah, it was more fun when there was competition and these little off-brand places creating their own stylization of entertainment zone. Like Discovery Zone was literally like a rat's maze for children. It was tubes and ball pits and swings with rope swings and climbing walls, and it was sort of like a padded kids version of an athletic center. Then you had stuff that was geared more towards mini golf and arcade games, or more individual places that mixed it up and put unusual entertainment things together in the same building. I remember one fondly I mentioned a while ago. It had an actual full-size professional boxing ring in it, but the vast majority of the time, they rented these giant padded sumo suits for you to get in and wrestle one another. Welcome, buddy.
Hi, Shane.
What's up, Shane?
We got a temporary guest.
Here's the thing is I have a legitimate beef to pick with places like Dave and Buster's. And that is, you go in there and the expectation is that, first off, the focus isn't really on the games. You know, you go in, you get your points card, whatever. The focus is that Well, you're going to need to eat. So you might want to go over there and get yourself something to eat. And then you sit there and you wind up spending $25 fucking on the world's most mundane burger you will ever eat. And you're like, yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Why do we subject ourselves to this? I may be sitting here and lamenting a lost childhood, or I have absolutely no fucking clue, but it bothers the ever-living shit out of me because I'm like, I don't know. When I want to go to an arcade, I want to sit there and like have a fistful of fucking quarters, sit in front of a machine, and sit there and spend the next couple of hours trying to beat the damn game again.
Yeah. We went for the games. They just got our extra money for the crap food.
So
some places even gave you the games for free in my childhood. Like, I still remember some of those spots at, like, when they offered the Nintendo 64 for free.
Oh my god. Remember when you could go into the McDonald's?
Like, that's what I'm talking about. McDonald's, yeah, right there. Just
they had
4
the
players.
Nintendo 64. Yeah,
ready to go.
That's crazy. Yeah, that unlocked a memory.
Yeah, I mean, you could walk into the McDonald's and there it was. And McDonald's, they used to be colorful. You used to have the
God, don't get me started on the depressed and gray midlife crisis.
Even the Taco Bell, that teal and purple, I miss that.
No, but like, I mean, do you remember you could walk into McDonald's and not only did they have the play place out front, but they also had that huge McDonald's land like mural always on the fucking wall of like all like Ronald and Grimace and I can't remember all the damn characters' names, but like you always had that and like they always had the area where like okay. The adults are going to go over there, and they're going to eat their Big Macs and whatnot, but you're fully loaded now. You got your Happy Meal box, you got your toy, and you know what? They have an entire kids area of the restaurant for you to go sit and eat in. You don't got to go over there and sit with your parents in that boring area. You can go sit down on the fucking, like, I forget the character's name, but, you could sit on one of the characters and be like, now I'm going to eat my burger, and then I'm going to go run around in the playground and then probably, throw up in the ball pit. Who knows?
My thing was to eat while I was waiting in line for my turn on the N64.
It sounds like you're bitter about the ball pits at the McDonald's, Ducky.
The play place and all that sticky and crap. Well, it's just gross. It was like when as a kid crawling in the tunnels and stuff, and it's like sticky, and you're like, what the hell? Why are they eating their burgers and fries inside this? What's going on? No,
I don't know. There wasn't really that care there when I was younger. It was the whole I'm gonna crawl through the tunnel and I'm gonna.
I mean, I still did. I still did. It was just gross. Now that I think about it, it's gross, but I crawled through it.
Discovery Zone.
If you ever knew anyone that worked at a McDonald's in that era, and
nobody cleaned them.
If they ever told you the story of the nights they'd have to clean out the ball pit, it was gross, and I'd hate to be them. But the worst takeaway from those stories is they did not clean that ball pit very frequently unless there was visible vomit in it. So whatever sunk to the bottom stayed there until they had a reason to clean it.
No, but the cool part though
there's a reason they always smelt funky.
Well, the cool part though is if you go to the McDonald's and you go to one of the legendary McDonald's with the multi-story place.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna climb all the way up there. And you get all the way up to the top of the tube and everything like that, and you sit there and you slam your head against the little dome window, and you're like, yeah, I'm so high up. This is awesome. Meanwhile, you realize later on in life, like, you're, like, what, 12 feet off the ground at max, and, like...
That's pretty tall.
It's pretty tall, but, like, when you're a kid, that seems like 50 feet up in the air.
Everything's so much bigger when you're a kid, and it's amazing. You feel so... And then you go back to those same places, you're like, wow, this is actually not as big as I remembered it.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually quite small.
I had that experience with Tower of Terror several times.
Oh yeah.
Well, Tower.
That one haunted me as a child. Because when I first went on it, I was like, I remember how old I was, but they didn't even have the seatbelts back then. Just to give you perspective, it was only
The lap bar.
bar. So I had just to make the story colorful. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I had a 400, 300-pound woman and couple and family next to me.
Yeah, you're
So
all small,
I
they're
was
all big. The lap bar doesn't
the
really...
lap bar does not go all the way down. There's a good foot of clearance, and they said good to
That's
go.
how
That's why they
slide
did
out
away with the
high.
lap bars.
Can I please say something?
Meanwhile, my
Yeah,
parents have a
yeah.
picture of this. Meanwhile,
After-
go ahead. Meanwhile, my parents in the picture when they caught it, I'm literally like this, holding to the bar for my dear life. Nothing but terror. In my perspective, I remember having the little dongle for the sunglasses, and this shit was in zero gravity, going like this, and I'm like, I will die if I let go.
Oh, just because of your story, Carl. We were going on a roller coaster at Cedar Point, and these bars, like you're saying, they have to go down for 2 seats, and they have to
the
strap
whole
it.
row.
Well, there's and it connected to the seats behind us as well. The whole section of those 2 seats, front and back, shared the same
Which
bar.
coaster at Cedar Point was this?
I don't recall. It was many, many years ago, maybe like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I remember my Uncle Dick and his daughter, she's very tiny, and he's trying to put the bar down. He doesn't realize there's a really big lady behind them, and he keeps pushing the bar down like, why the hell is this not coming down? He's punching the shit out of the lady behind him, and she had to get off the ride. I was like, oh my God.
To be honest,
Sir, my legs are
loading
bruised.
the ride, you need to be really mindful of that.
down?
With a very small passenger and a very large passenger, and the bar can only go
Love
down
Uncle
as
Dick.
far as the large passenger.
Yeah.
That small person's gonna fly out and freaking die. You need to move people of similar size into the same car, so the bar
That
can
poor
come down
lady.
as much as it can to keep all of them in there.
Oh, poor lady. It was so funny. I felt bad for her, but my God, my Uncle Dick is hilarious. He just...
I got a quick guest story. Talk about a terrifying ride experience. So in downtown Orlando, they have something called the Sky Coaster. All right, it is not a coaster at all. It's a misleading name. It is, you step up to a platform, and they put probably 1/8 of an inch thick Kevlar front, like if you were to get an X-ray, like the whole front of your body, that in the straps go around your torso, between your legs, around your neck and shoulders, and then it all hooks at the center of your back on a wire, and then they lay you horizontally, so you're floating in the air like this with a cord, and then they pull you 300 feet up into the air,
Oh my God. Yeah.
and it's just a giant fucking rope swing, and it's terrifying because the scary part is not going down. The scary part is when you're going up, you're teetering like this, and you feel your body sliding in this Kevlar, like you're about to slide right out of this motherfucker. And then they really get you at the top. You get to the top, and there's no releasing you. You release your own self. You pull your own cord. So you literally have to get up there, not freak the fuck out. And they give you like 10 seconds. Then they count down from, like they say, you're supposed to go on 3, and you got to pull your own ripcord. You go from this to literally vertical.
I'm doing that.
And you drop 300
I'm
feet.
doing. Where's that in Orlando? Is it in
It's
Orlando?
in downtown Orlando.
Yeah, it's
I'm
right
doing
down
it.
on
I'm
iDrive.
doing-
It's right down
It's
on.
on-
Cameron will wet his
Yeah.
pants, but we're doing it.
The scary part is because I've done that too, Shane. The scary part is like some people are really good on that upswing. As soon as they start turning back around to go back down the other way, some people are really good about being able to turn themselves so that they're facing forward as they go back the other way. I couldn't do it, so I did the whole thing fucking that going backwards like this. I did it backwards. That is terrifying.
Yeah. And you remember that feeling you get when you first pull that ripcord and you're initially going down? It's like your stomach is in your feet.
Everything sinks, and you're like,
And you're like, it's crazy.
So make sure you do it on an empty stomach, is what I'm gathering.
I don't know if you. I don't think the G forces alone would allow your stomach to empty.
I don't think I would do that. I will still get on.
You'll come right out your ass.
That's
I would
my
actually
internal
do that.
vomit
I think I'd
rupture.
watch that and take a hard pass.
Okay, I'm gonna share a story with you guys. So,
Story time.
I sat there, and this was shortly after the Coca-Cola Orlando Eye was built and opened. All right, so I did a lot of research on it, and I sat there and I decided to get off of work one day, and I decided to like go and do it on my own because I was like, is this gonna be like a thing that I could possibly like take my kids and stuff on? And so I'm riding this thing, and I suddenly realize it's 45 fucking minutes to go all the way around, and there's no bathrooms in there or anything like that. So I sat there and I was like, this isn't like a ride. This is punishment. So from that day forward, I started sitting there and I would threaten my daughters. I would be like, listen, if you guys don't sit there and if you don't behave, we're going to go ride the Coca-Cola Orlando Eye. And one day they were totally unruly, totally like just being everything. And I was like, okay, get in the car. So we drive all the way down to Icon Park, and we're sitting there, and like I let them do some fun things and whatnot, and I'm finally like, all right, let's go. And they're like, oh, we're gonna go ride the big Ferris wheel, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go ride the big Ferris wheel. 45 fucking minutes of punishment. They're like, is it over yet, Dad? No. When is it gonna be over? You got about another 30 minutes.
Painful.
Oh
I am
gosh.
evil. Yes.
Painful.
I really think parks need to install zip lines at the midway point on rides with waits that long so people can just fucking bail out if they get tired of waiting.
Have you have you guys ever gone down to boy, we're about to really start digging into some Florida shit now.
Boy.
Let's go.
Have you gone to Gator World yet?
Oh, we
I've
lived
drove
many years
past
ago.
it.
We live very close to it. It's like
Maybe
10
30 minutes.
Not even. It's like
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes
Have
away.
you-
It's by my dad's house.
Yeah, I remember driving
Oh no,
past it.
Gator Land or Gator World?
You
mean
it's
Swamp House?
Gatorland. It's Gatorland.
Oh.
Gator. It's
Yeah.
on Highway 50 going towards the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah,
Okay.
Where the building is literally a giant alligator.
Yeah.
Have you done the zip lines over the Gator fields yet?
No, but I saw they installed those.
Yeah.
I want to do that too.
Have you seen the new nature park that they opened up in that same area?
I haven't lived down there in almost 6 years. Wait, what?
Okay, it opened about 3 or 4 years ago. Another great gator story. So this place is basically, it's like a nature trail, except it's artificially built land over wetlands. So you're basically walking a path that is about 8 feet wide with banks on either side that go straight into water the whole way. So it's like an overwater bridge landway, and with it, and 8 feet wide, and there are literally 12-foot alligators on the bank next to where you're walking. There are no fences in this place anywhere. You are just walking around with wild animals 5 feet from you at any given moment. It's crazy.
It sounds similar to the Black Bear
Wilderness
something
Creek.
trail.
The one by Sanford, 3 minutes from
Yeah. It's I thought it was a Popka, but sandwiched between a Popka and Sanford, somewhere on the border.
Yeah.
It's like a 7.5 mile trail. I walk once in a while. A lot of it is through wetlands, and it's not built up land. The land is indeed up higher where the path is, but it's because of hundreds and hundreds of cypress trees that act as natural barriers, keeping the path raised up.
So
Yeah, there you go.
So these are the zip lines, which are absolutely nuts.
But the Black Bear Nature Trail runs right along the St. Johns River, and you're surrounded by gators and families of wild boar throughout the majority of the trail. You see gators and boar
Bears.
every freaking walk.
The
I've seen a bear
Gator
a couple
Gauntlet?
times.
What is... Oh, there is a video.
Let's go.
This
Send it.
is something else. Holy crap, they have a handicapped accessible version of the ride? They're loading that guy's wheelchair into it.
Capable version of the ride, sir.
That's
Handy
wild.
capable.
Yeah, they are. Look at that picture.
That's wild.
I wish the wheelchair would
He
go
said
with them.
educated.
That would
I
be
wonder if they do
really
wheelchair
crazy.
scuba diving.
It is.
Too much?
No,
Oh, those clothes are banned. That makes sense.
My O2 tank's running out.
why can't I wear a dress?
Oh, notice how we're making sure that everybody sees it. You have to sign your life away before you do this thing.
Make sure.
We're not liable for any death or injury. That is really cool, though.
Yeah, that is dope.
I just want to say, this whole video is ridiculous so far.
I have no sound on it though. Is that normal?
It's probably.
I got no snare in my headphones.
Yeah, this video is muted, but I don't know if it had sound to begin with. Oh, it does.
I just, this is just so new levels of just, yeah. But I was on here and I'm trying to actually find the trail that you're talking about. So.
Oh, the nature.
Yeah, I think it's called Black Bear Trail, part of Black Bear Nature Reserve.
I know where it
and
is.
it
I have it.
skirts for about 2 or 3 miles of the trail. There's a series of bridges and boardwalks that skirt the edge of the St. Johns River. And for anyone who doesn't know the St. Johns, it has some of the largest and densest population of gators in Florida. It's wild. I don't mess with it unless I'm on a substantial sized boat, but
it's also the only other river in the world that flows the opposite
north.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
the
a name
Nile.
for it. There's a beautiful trail. It's like a 7-mile hike. Ducky and I and Cameron, we went on it with the dog once. Yeah. I've gone many times.
Yeah,
I have walking distance access to that.
And the volume of wildlife, you're never going to walk on that trail without crossing wildlife. Like I said, every time you go, you're going to see gators. 80% of the time, you'll see a family of wild boar, the occasional deer. The one drawback is you have to watch where you step because rattlers are very common on that trail. Every other time I hit that trail, I'll see a rattler or a pygmy rattler. Once in a blue moon, water moccasin. Just bring your hiking stick and don't walk on top of them.
Remember that we were in and I were in Volusia County at Green Springs, and we literally walked up on a 3-foot coral snake.
Yeah, you almost stepped on that fucker.
Jesus.
I got right, and that's big for a coral snake.
Yeah,
that's really big.
Yeah, it was. Normally, it's one of the fake coral snakes, where the pattern is slightly different.
The king snake.
Yeah, no, not this time.
It's just. Oh, it's nice that we have all these things, but it's still the fact that like you're charged God knows how much to do these things now, and like, man,
Black Bear Trail's still free.
Yeah, free, thank God.
It'd be nice if like I don't know, things were like pseudoly reasonable and whatnot. So
I'm with you. The average entertainment nowadays is going to cost you $40 for a 30-minute to an hour experience, and that's if you don't buy a drink, a snack, or anything else there. The ridiculous price of admission on things that used to be peanuts or free is a little out of control these days.
Well, and I mean, even the things that were more reasonably priced back in the day are now insane. I mean, you look at the price of like a ticket to like Ripley's. And like Ripley's was great because you could sit there and you could go burn a couple of hours off at a Ripley's and you were out like what, $15? And now
15,
it's
$20 max.
Yeah, like and now it's like $40, $50 just to get into a Ripley's.
Mm-hmm.
To my dismay, I've been in Florida for like 20 plus. I have lost count. I've never been to the Ripley's or the Wonderworks.
The Wonderworks.
Wonderworks I haven't been to in ages. Went once when I first moved down here. What a wildly cool place.
Yeah, Wonderworks is definitely out there. So, I mean,
I bet it's completely different from the last time I've seen it. I mean, other than the weird, awesome outside of the building,
or anything on that road, for that matter of fact.
Oh,
like
down
Titanic experience. I think I've been to one thing, the escape room, but that was a while back.
I mean, the thing is like iDrive has it all. I used to work in the Titanic experience. I sat there. I used to hang out all the time down iDrive. I miss the fucking haunted house place.
You mean Skull Kingdom?
Skull Kingdom. Yes.
I had a friend that worked there when we were fresh out of high school. Went there all the fucking time. What a neat place. Year-round, massive haunted house.
Yep. Skull Kingdom was just like out friggin' standing.
Yeah.
So
I made something. Here.
what'd you make?
I drew us.
Ah,
Aww.
look at that.
Ducky, you're amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I thought that was cute.
That
I don't know.
is-
That's what I've been working on.
That is awesome. Holy cow.
I dig it.
That is
Don't forget
great.
to check out Lady Ducky's YouTube channel.
Yes,
people. It is
please.
pretty awesome.
So check out Ducky's streams, check out her YouTube channel. Like it is all amazing. Speaking of which, Critical Skeptic now has a Twitch back live again. He'll be streaming soon. He's not totally set up yet, but hey, congratulations, Skeptic. Welcome back to the Twitch
Let's
family.
go.
Thank you. I will stop hiding from the world. I promise. I'll show up a few more places.
You gotta do
a
woodworking
little more
on there.
frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely
love
got to do
that.
some of your woodworking on there.
Dude, he's awesome.
We'll compile those. Those will be pre-recorded, edited down for time's sake, because I don't want to show you hour-long videos where I'm going to be quietly working and running loud machines for like.
There's an entire
50% of them.
genre on Twitch for that.
ASMR.
Yeah,
I've never even thought of running that on Twitch. I mean, that'll be
Yeah, do it.
a more polished, finished product, edited down YouTube video, at least in the beginning.
But
People will want to hang out and watch
Workshop silent meditative sounds. That's the thing.
Yeah, or there's that guy out in
The sound of a bandsaw, so relaxing.
Well, there's that guy from New Zealand who got really popular on both Twitch and on Twitch and YouTube, and like it was just him silently working on different woodworking projects and whatnot. And I mean, this guy was so great because he would constantly tell people, "Hey, you don't have to throw your money towards me and whatnot. Like, you know, I appreciate the donation, but like, if you want me to refund it, take the money back and whatnot." Like, he was absolutely awesome, outstanding guy. So he's still on there, by the way. He's still on there. But
I follow this Irish guy that uses extremely simple tools, 1 or 2 tools per project. Real old world construction, a lot of tongue and groove, mortar and tenon construction, and he'll use fresh lumber that he harvests and mills himself. Typically, he doesn't work with wet wood. He's a big proponent of explaining how long you should dry a certain type of wood. Really educational for shorts. I love the simple techniques and the look of this wild-looking furniture he puts together. Wish I could remember his name to, I can give him a shout-out.
hang on, I do have to, I just gotta, come on. I definitely have to share this because it is incredible. This guy is just, he's so cool. He's so genuine.
Movie time.
Sharing time.
Wait,
Let's go.
will someone give some subs?
Oh, he does the.
Bro,
does
he
the
doesn't
detail
have to.
stuff.
Can I give the money back?
And he's like reading his chat and whatnot, and they're like, no, don't.
Kia ora. Is there any way I can give the money back? Oh, you too and through. Once again, I'm telling you, you don't have to sub. Like, you don't have to. You can watch the stuff for free. Like, that's the best thing you can do.
Nice.
His name is BROXH,
Please
and he's
hold on to your,
awesome.
Another one.
And they're sub-training him now too.
Oh, can you hold on to your fella's money? We're in the midst of a lockdown. Use it on your family, not me.
Send him more.
That's exactly what they started doing.
Yeah, because once you start saying no, that's when they start. Yep.
Oh, bro, I'm going straight to KFC. Or I might just wait until the hype's all over, because I bet you the whole bloody city's going to go out.
He's such a cool and like genuine person, and we need more people like that, honestly, in some of the streaming environments and whatnot. I don't know the name of the guy. I'm going to preface this now. I don't know the name of the guy, but his Twitch chat has essentially ruined the entirety of the artifact category on Twitch.
What's the artifact category?
So the artifact category, I'm not for sure what all it encompasses. But it's basically all part of like this general like really subgenre of gaming and whatnot. But basically, like his chat, he is infamous for encouraging his chat to go into other people's streams who are streaming on the Artifact tag and just ruining their entire streams. And it
not like a community raid to boost their viewers, but to blow up their spot?
well, basically to just like bully them off the platform.
Wow.
And sometimes they'll like mass report people, and like it's just
That's screwed up.
yeah, it really is. We need more people who are actually out there like making the communities and whatnot better. Like
Yeah.
we need
That's so
more
messed
of
up.
that now. So
Agreed.
Reminds me of a meme, a quote. I'm gonna pull it up and post it later.
but you know, the big thing is you know, if you're going to go on Twitch and you're gonna sit there and stream your woodworking, as you see, there's a huge audience for it, and there's people who genuinely like want to watch you work. They don't care if you're talking with them or interacting with them constantly. Like they just want to watch you. They want to watch you work. They want to watch your process, and they want to just vibe with you. I will admit, I am kind of bad about whenever I am working on a car or like a project car or something like that. I will turn on YouTube videos of other dudes working on their cars. Like that's one of the primary reasons why I got into Junkyard Digs is like when I was sitting there working on some of the classic cars that I used to restore, just sitting there turning on Junkyard Digs and like chilling out with him working on cars and me working on a car. Like it's that whole vibing thing, I guess it's called.
I'm definitely a YouTube University rat. I mean, I have added so many skills. Like, I don't really want to mess with that. I feel like I need time to sit down and learn about it. 15 minutes on fucking YouTube, I'm like, I could totally do this afternoon.
This is it goes like this. The planet does not need more successful people, period. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kind.
I feel like people who want to become peacemakers, healers, and restorers, they could become successful. So isn't that a contradiction?
It is a contradiction. I mean, it really is. The I personally feel like we've lost a lot in terms of third spaces where we can all go and bond with each other. I feel like we've lost a lot of places where we also didn't feel the need to like have to spend something. I also feel like there's not like libraries are great places for resources of going and learning and like taking courses and all that other stuff to sit there and you know, you want to learn quilting or whatever, you can do it at your local library. But who remembers when like Joanne Fabrics used to sit there and host free courses on like how to use your sewing machine?
Yeah.
Local
We didn't have
Joanne's here
big
in
box
Sanford
stores like that
closed.
where I grew up, but there was always little micro art studios scattered throughout the nearby towns. I grew up in a place that was near the actual town of Woodstock back in the day in New York. And it became an artist community. It's people who stayed from the hippie era and just put down roots there. And that scattered to nearby surrounding areas. So there was tons of these art studios, but I guess they got people in there by running workshop programs and teaching all sorts of like dying arts. From stained glass to, various sand art to painting. It's just a big spectrum of stuff.
You know, I miss the day and age when you could go and learn something and there was no inclination that, that you had to spend money, that, basically you could go and you could learn for free. And I took a lot of the classes at Joanne's and whatnot, and honestly, can somebody help me with the name of the place? But it's basically this place where All Fired Up. That's it. is basically you go in there and like you get like a mug and you're supposed to like paint it and like decorate it and whatnot. And I think it's those places that ruined the actual legitimate smaller pottery shops where they were like, you know, come on in and make a mug. And, you know, if you like what you made, you know, you can buy it and we'll fire it and you can take it home. Now you go into this place and they've got all these pre-done mugs and everything like that all along the wall, or you know bowls, and they're like, oh well, you know, and then here's your cheap $1.99 watercolors for you to paint it, and then we'll fire it and you can come pick that up in 2 weeks. But oh, by the way, $190 for the experience.
Yeah. I distinctly remember when I was little, there was this place near my grandmother's house. It was a ceramic shop. They sold pewter, various, a lot of ceramic stuff, clay stuff, and even little pewters. And the idea was you just buy them and take them home, or sit down and work on them there with your friends and family and just paint them up however you wanted them. And it was dirt cheap. As a matter of fact, I think you literally just paid for the piece, and then the paint and the time you spent there to work on it was included. And they didn't need to get, well, that you could glaze them, but it wasn't like wet pottery, so they didn't need to fire it. But you could do a glaze on them to preserve them. I think my grandmother still has somewhere a Batmobile I got and painted there when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure she was painting a dinosaur that day when I got that.
I just, you know, I think that those places were great, and they would foster people like Ducky who sits here and, you know, is like into art and whatnot. And I mean, I'm not.
I get paid nothing.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is like, I guess, you know, nowadays with YouTube and whatnot, there are people who are out there doing art that are inspiring other people to sit there and do art and yada 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 yada. But, you know, other than going down to the local library or taking a class through school, which I think, by the way, is the, you know, don't go and like do a drawing class in like middle school or high school, because like they're grading you. I don't think that's going to encourage something. But like, it would just be awesome if, like, you know, there were still like places like art supply stores that weren't like these big conglomerate art supply stores, where they would be like, come on in and like, we've got a free class on drawing today. We've got, this is Joe Blow, and he's, you know, just a local artist, and he's going to kind of share with you guys some of his art, but he's also going to teach you like how to do some stuff. And hey, if you like it, buy the art supplies. If not, hey, you made something cool today.
That gives me an idea. Maybe I should do a stream of like a art class. Let's draw. And I could just draw, and any people watching, you know, they can ask questions and I'll show them how I do something and teach people how to draw for free.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Awesome. The saddest part is I think we're at this point now where we're having to create new types of third places, but it's like so many people. This is something that we've talked about between myself and Critical. We've talked about this off screen before, where it's that hustle culture shit, where basically anything you're into, you've got to like somehow turn it into something that you can monetize. And it's like, no.
The cost of setup to do it for yourself has gotten so ridiculous. You can't afford hobbies anymore unless you monetize your hobby.
Yeah. And it's like,
it's gotten out of hand.
You know, I mean, the thing is like, anybody who's now sitting here and doing it to sit there and give some people like something to go and do and just vibe with, now everybody's like, well, you got to monetize that, man. Like, you can make money from that. I don't want to make money from it.
Another angle that I think is important that enables us to do that more, because I think what stops a lot of people that would like to do this altruistically is sort of a bare minimum or donation-based thing to cover supplies. It's setting up a brick-and-mortar location you can bring people to is just not a possibility unless you're sitting on boatloads of freaking money and don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Which, that's not many people anymore, and that's why I love the idea of using, you know, YouTube and Twitch and using my little miniature workshop out on my porch, I mean, I could theoretically facilitate bringing 1 or 2 friends over at a time and teaching them and letting them utilize my equipment for their art projects. But it's not large enough to run a community workshop.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'd love to create an outbuilding on the property where I could feasibly do something like that.
Well,
but
and we've lost community centers. Community centers aren't really a thing anymore. You know? Like I said, the expectation now is on the library to become the community center. But there used to be places where, you know, hey, you could just sit there and you sign up on a list and you get to rent the community center out for a day, and you could be like, yeah, I'm doing this in the community center, and then people would just show up. But that's not a thing anymore. That's just it's
not as much.
Yeah, it's a lost thing. So it's we're mourning something that shouldn't need to be mourned, but like, I mean, it's like this podcast. None of us are making anything doing this podcast. We do this because we enjoy it and we think people would enjoy hearing us talk. Where the channel's not monetized, we don't have a Patreon, we don't have any of that other stuff. And, you know, we just want people to like sit there and feel like they're vibing with us, to feel like they're just hanging out with some friends. And that, like, you know, I certainly, we all live in different places. I'm the one who lives the farthest, but we all live in different places, but we're vibing, and we want you guys to feel like you've got a friend that you're vibing with too. So
Sense of community and enjoying doing what we like.
Yeah. So it's a big important part of why I do this to me, and why I know it means so much to you guys as well. So it also makes sure that we're all hanging out on a regular basis. So, but you know, I just, it just means the world to me that we have the ability to do something like this, and to bring at least some sense of community into something that we're doing, and positively reflect things.
On that note, I was thinking formerly what you were saying, and relating to that, it is kind of up to us, the people that think about this, the people that miss that sense of community and those third spaces to hang out and get together. It's up to people like us to find a way to make that possible now, and luckily the podcast is one way we can do that.
Yeah. And this is why this is kind of why I mourn this for today's generation. Yeah, Roblox is cool, Minecraft is cool. It's brought a lot of kids, and Fortnite to an extent. It's cool that it's bringing kids like together, but then you realize just how much of that shit is monetized and whatnot. And I miss the day and age where kids they could go down to the McDonald's, they could sit there and they could run around in the tubes, and suddenly like you run into a kid and you guys vibe really well, and you're like, hey, you're cool, and then suddenly like you're asking your parents to exchange phone numbers so that you can stay in contact, and then like all this other stuff, and you're getting that done. By the way, I want to point out to people, for some reason, Ladyducky has been using the raise hand feature this whole time. Like, Ducky, just talk.
I could add some. Well, the thing is, I don't want to interrupt somebody, so I'm just. I was gonna say, with the whole community thing, how in video games it's all multiplayer. So you're at your house, your friend's at their house. We can play multiplayer. But it used to be with multiplayer, you have to come over to your friend's house so you can all sit together on the couch gaming. That's community. That was great.
Well, and who remembers like when you have your friends come over and you're playing a 4-way split screen, and suddenly somebody goes, "You're cheating! You're looking over at my screen!" So suddenly you set up the cardboard box like near the screen, like to block off.
Yup. Or the whole journey, the first half of the day that it took to get your friends together in front of a television on a couch to play, because you had to ride to everybody's house on your freaking bike, and if they weren't there, you had to do laps around the neighborhood to figure out whose house they were hanging out at.
Oh shit!
Like, dude, I remember the day and age when we used to sit there and we all used to get on bikes together. And like you'd have this
bikes,
and you'd have this horde of kids going down the street on all their bikes.
delinquents.
Oh, hey man, and you always had that kid, like, who had the really cool mountain bike, or you had the kid who had the mongoose, and then of course you always had the kid who had like the hand-me-down bike from his sister and whatnot, but he decided to make it cool by like putting the card in the spokes or whatever, and he's like, yeah, maybe a bit for my sister, but you know, this is cool. Cause like
That was me. I had the used off-brand mongoose, and I would spray paint my bike and put decals on it and cram a bottle behind the tire to make it sound like a Harley. It's cool now, right?
You don't see a lot of gang of kids riding bikes together anymore. Like maybe you'll see a couple, but it's not like it was back then. You know?
No,
like,
it's definitely it's definitely not like, you know, it's definitely not how it used to be.
I happen to be lucky enough to live in a small rural neighborhood, and at least until they develop everything around me. But I guess I'm just getting old and nostalgic because as the summer kicks off, the kids are going buck wild in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And in my neighborhood, you'll see, it's not like the old days where it's everyone, you know, 75% of them are still glued to a TV in their house, but it makes me smile when I see a pack of like 4 to 6 of them with fishing poles attached to their bike, or they're dragging a cart full of whatever the hell they thought they needed to bring with them for the day behind their bike, and you can tell they're going down to the local pond to just hang out and be kids.
They are going to have a great
You hear
childhood.
their wild-ass little conversations as they're rolling down the street. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think this happened anymore. This is awesome to see.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic when you still see that. And I wish, like, because my eldest, she would go out and she would do, like, things like that. But my youngest, she was, you know, if she wasn't hanging out with her friends at the house or hanging out at their houses, she didn't really go outside much. And that kind of always pained me because I wish that more kids today could experience that whole be back in the house by the time the streetlights come on.
Yeah.
Because, like, I got asked not too long ago from one of my employees who's definitely young. They're 19. But they legitimately asked me, was like, they're like, I always see the meme of, like, you know, did you guys actually used to sit there and be, like, released to the wilds for, like, hours? And he's like, is that true, though? And I was like,
it wasn't released. It was thrown out of the house so your mother could clean and do stuff in peace.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, we were thrown out the door. We were told to get out there and go have some fun and whatnot. And so for like 9 hours, you'd just sit there and you'd come up with something. And of course, like halfway through that 9 hours, you'd be like, I gotta go and I gotta go get some lunch. And you'd go back and you'd have a really shit bologna sandwich. And then you'd go right back out there, now hyped up on Capri Sun and bologna.
Oh my God, the nostalgia in my heart. I wish we had a time machine and we could all go back. But we're all together somehow and we're kids and we're all having fun riding bikes. Oh, God.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to stand my ass.
No, my childhood was
but we still have the same mentality in a way.
Yeah.
We have the grown-up mentality in a way, but we are just enjoying just being kids and just having fun. Hell, why can't we do it now? Let's go get bikes, you guys. Let's go ride.
God, me
I
on
have
a
a
bicycle?
bike, it just needs tires.
Excuses. Actually, I gotta get a new bike. I sold mine.
I sold mine
The older you
ages
get, the
ago.
more cool toys you collect, and the less time you have to use them.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh
Gaming in
man.
the 30s.
Whew. All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming with us on another podcast. It's been great having you come down the lane with us again. If you liked this podcast, please click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so that you get notified anytime a new episode goes out. You know, please always hit us up in the comments. If you want to sit there and visit any one of our channels, please go ahead and also check out the description. You'll find each one of our links to our socials and our respective pages down there in the description. Again, I am Steve from WTFAnime. We have Critical Skeptic, EmberSoul, and the wonderful Ladyducky. And we sit there and thank you for coming along on another podcast with us. Sometimes you'll be able to find us over on Twitch on Sundays for an after party. It's not always there, but if you do catch us on a Sunday, come on and join us on the after party. From myself and everybody else, thank you and bye.
Bye. Ride your bike.